All right, what's up? Good morning. Day 32 is Monday, February 2nd, Groundhog's Day. Happy birthday, Dad. It's my dad's birthday. I'm going to make sure I call him. Day 32, though, we're going to be 9.6% complete. That means 9,600 reps so far this year. And we're going to keep going. Vegan 300. We're raising awareness for the animals. 300 pounds of meat are eaten every single year by the average person. So how many animals do you eat? Right now, it is 4:23. So 4:23, 24 degrees in the garage gym. And we're 32 days in. So we came yesterday, February 1st. We're off to a good start here in February. And again, one day at a time, one rep at a time, one round at a time. We're going to get to 100,000. So today's comment, again, Ultra Gamer 4884. I love vegetables. Trust me. What does it say? Trust me, but tell me, is using Jesus really a good idea to force a vegan mentality on others? So I think I talked a little bit about this in the past about forcing my beliefs or forcing my views, and now forcing a vegan mentality is a new one. Haven't heard, but the idea is the same. So I asked Ultra Gamer how exactly I am forcing a vegan mentality on others by using Jesus. And I think forcing is certainly not the correct term. I mean, it really isn't. I mean, if you force someone into a gas chamber, like you're standing behind them with a weapon and you're going to shoot them if they don't go in or tell them where to go, or like you have a weapon, like you're forcing them to do something. And so, and then there's like a repercussion. Like if you don't do it, you're going to get hurt. So, I mean, that to me is more of a force. We're forcing, that would be a better use, but you can't force a mentality on others. If you happen to agree with what I'm saying, or the vegan mentality, which is, not to exploit animals if you don't have to, like it's really not forcing. That's your own choice. You have a choice. You got a choice every single day, multiple times a day, if you want to continue to do what we're doing to animals, and if you want to contribute to that. So I'm glad you love vegetables, and you can eat all the vegetables you want. The vegetables don't involve killing a sentient being, a sentient animal. All right, Ultra Gamer. So, I'm going to say, is it a good idea using Jesus? Well, I'm just asking, especially for those religious folks, how would Jesus kill an animal? How would God kill an animal? And do you think that Jesus or God intended and wanted and think it's a good thing for what's happening to these animals? I'd say no. I'd absolutely say no. But question for you, so you got to answer that. So definitely not forcing anybody a vegan mentality by using Jesus. So that's on you, Ultra Gamer, and all of those other folks that you think that, forcing a vegan mentality, forcing a vegan belief. It's just, why kill animals if you don't have to? Why kill and eat animals if you don't have to? So that's what I'll say with that. Forcing. And then again, forcing the animals into slaughterhouses. Do we think that that's actually forcing, like contributing to it, so that to make sure that it's funded and continues to fund the industry so that you get to eat meat? Is that forcing, your dollars paying for the meat that it came from an animal who was forced in the industry, was forced into artificially inseminated, and then give birth, and then take that baby away so they can produce dairy and milk for humans? You know, are we forcing them to do that? They don't have a choice. You got a choice. Bless me. Wow, that was perfect timing. So yeah, not using Jesus to force a vegan mentality on you, Ultra Gamer, or anybody else. Nobody's forcing you to do anything. That's in your own head. If you want to choose to not contribute to killing animals and eating them, then don't do it. But nobody's forcing you. I'm not forcing you. I'm not using these videos. I'm not using God. I'm not using Jesus to force anybody to quit eating animals. I'm encouraging you to do so because I think it's the right thing. But nobody's forcing you to do anything. Nobody's forcing you. All right. But I'm glad you love vegetables. Do you love animals? I bet you love animals. Which one would you rather kill? Vegetables or animals? You know, I think the choice is easy. Would you rather kill an animal and eat them, or would you rather kill a vegetable and eat them? I mean, vegetables aren't them. They're not sentient. They don't have an experience. They don't feel pain. They don't have a central nervous system. They don't have a brain, but animals do. So I can assure you, Jesus would not want you to kill animals if you didn't have to. I'm like, talk about love and grace. You know, why is it only for humans that we give love and grace to? Or can we share that and give that to other animals or all beings or all God's creations? You know, just think about it. All right. Let's get after this workout. £25 all week. We've graduated. I think in the descriptions of my last videos, I've been saying I was using 20 pounds, but that's not the case. We're using 25 pounders. So 50-pound total dumbbells. Little stiff. It's 4:30. Let's knock this out. This is going to be under 30-minute workout. Forcing a vegan mentality. I mean, again, that's that dissonance. You come across this and it's conflicting to what you think Jesus and God and what you think to be, you know, a good thing, or maybe you haven't ever thought about it. So you use this terminology that makes it look like someone who is speaking up for the animals, the the less fortunate, or the oppressed, speaking up for the oppressed, like vegans, or me. I'm the authoritative one. Like, I'm forcing them or you to do this. And I mean, it's just it's so backwards, but I understand why you use that term. It's like vegans are forcing, like we're the mean ones, like we should keep our beliefs to ourselves instead of forcing them. Like, what? How? Trying to speak up for the animals who are getting slaughtered by the billions every year. I just want you to choose to eat plants instead, because they're not sentient. They don't have a central nervous system. They don't have feelings. They don't feel pain. They don't have an experience. These animals do. The animals that we're buying and buying steak and bacon and all the other meats that you go out and purchase and eat on a daily basis, you're funding that. We're funding that whole industry. I mean, and those animals are forced into the slaughterhouse, into these trucks to transport them to the slaughterhouse, and forced they're being forced to be, they're being killed. But we're forcing our beliefs. I'm forcing my beliefs. I'm using Jesus to force you all to be vegan, to not contribute to killing animals for food, because you don't have to. I wish I could force it. Wish there was a way to force you to. And I know it's the right answer, but again, I'm not forcing anybody. But I also don't think it's sustainable. It's like forcing someone to work out. Like you want to force someone to work out? Like nobody's forcing anyone to work out. It's your own choice. But it's the right thing to do. I think you all should be working out. And believe it or not, you can do it on all plants. You don't need animal protein. All right, I got to stop ranting. Let's go. All right, here we go. We got 10 rounds of 10. Vegan 300. Here we go. Monday, February 2nd. Let's go. Ooh, there's one. First one's always the worst. Then they get easier. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Got my gloves back. Way better, man. Heated gloves. It's a real deal. Oh, man. I think Ava was using this. All right, first round done. Ooh, we're over at 3 minutes. That's not gonna, they're not all gonna last that long. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, 2 rounds in. They're getting easier, getting warmed up. See, we're under our 6 minutes. We're not going to be out here 30 minutes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, good morning. We're finishing up our 3rd round. We do 10 rounds of 10 to get to our 300. 3 different repetitions in one movement. 300 pounds of meat are eaten every year by average person. And we're going to 100,000 one day at a time. We're already into February. We missed 1 day in January. So we'll see. We're traveling to Vegas in a couple weeks. So it'll be first time traveling. Getting out of the routine. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 4 rounds complete. Just keep going. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Halfway. All right, here we go. Back half. 5 more rounds to go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 6 rounds complete. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. This is round 7, finishing round 7. We're doing 10 rounds of 10. This is our 32nd day of doing this. $300 a day. We go 7 through. 3 more rounds to go. Let's keep it going. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, All right, 8 rounds in. We got 2 more rounds to go. Still good on time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, round 9. Finishing up round 9. All right, good morning, almost done. Day 32. We're finishing up round 9. One more round after this. And we got another day in the books. February 2nd. There it is, one more round. Here we go. Last round. I'm gonna talk you through these movements, right? So the vegan 300, 3 repetitions and 1 full movement. Here it is. You're gonna drop down. These are 25-pound dumbbells. Drop down, kick your feet out, strict push-up. Now I'm going to hop back in, feet are shoulder width apart. I'm going to swing the dumbbells between my legs and press overhead and go right into a front squat. So here we go. Swing, front squat, stand up. There's one. All right, back down, kick the feet out, swing, front squat. There's two. There's three. There's four. Five. Six. Seven. Eight. Nine. Last one. 100. All right. And then we finish up on the row. Nice and easy. There's 10. 26. 47. And that's it. That's all she wrote. Under 30 minutes. Man, again, the more we do this workout, the more I know it's the right thing to do. Full body. We're doing push-ups. We're doing swings. You got to control your core. You're pressing out overhead. And then you're squatting, which I think you should squat every day. Anyway, you should do push-ups every day. And again, some sort of core work, which is those swings. And to control the dumbbells, control the weights coming back down, certainly you got to engage your core, squeeze your shoulders, and you just methodically move through this one. So again, real big believer in if you want to, I'm going to say if you want to build discipline, this is the right thing to be doing. You know, you don't have to think about it's the same workout. Get yourself, you know, see what a week feels like. You know, and then a month, 2 weeks, 3 months, 333 days. See what that feels like. You know, I know you can do it. If I can do it, you can do it. You know, the biggest thing here is don't want to get hurt. So I started with good, you know, not a lot of weight, 15 pounds, and then graduated at 20. Did some 35s for the weekend, and then now, you know, this is 25 pounds for the past week. Or no, I'm not sure if I did it last week, 25 pounds. No, I think it started on the weekend. So here we go. Here's what I was also thinking about though with this comment. So Ultra Gamer 4884, you know, and others, I get, you know, at least a handful so far since posting the Jesus short, you know, on how God or Jesus would kill an animal. And, you know, talk about using Jesus really a good idea to force a vegan mentality on others? So, I think the equivalent of what I'm doing is, I mean, if you picture yourself in church, do you think the pastor is forcing you to believe in Jesus? Do you think the pastor is forcing you to commit to Jesus? And I don't think that's true. I'm pretty sure you wouldn't use that word force. I think the pastor's sharing messages, sharing scripture, sharing experiences, and so really no different than what's happening here. So it's definitely not forcing. So if you go to church, I mean, do you think that the pastor is forcing you to believe in their religion or forcing you to believe, that mentality onto you? And I'd argue no. I think you would argue no as well. Nobody's forcing you. Like, nobody's even forcing you to go to church, except maybe if you're a kid and your parents bring you there. I mean, that's kind of forcing. Otherwise, you don't want to get in trouble. But I for sure am not forcing a vegan mentality onto you or to anyone else. I'm encouraging you to do so because it is the right thing. I mean, how can it not be the right thing? I mean, can you say it's the right thing to take an animal's life away from them if you don't have to? And so, I don't think anyone can answer that with true honesty and look at yourself and be like, yeah, absolutely, what we're doing to animals is the right thing. Regardless of who else did it, regardless of if God did it, if Jesus did it, like your morals, how you were brought up and what you think good and bad is, or the difference between right and wrong. And you mean to tell me that it is the right thing to do to animals of what we're doing? I mean, that, you have to really think about that one. And, you can talk about, vegans and crop deaths and, we kill more animals by eating plants. It really, it's all nonsense and it's all deflection. So I think you have to look at what you're doing and see if it's right or wrong. I mean, that's really what it comes down to. And not to say that, I mean, it's a huge change. You just change what you purchase. You change the things that you're eating on a daily basis. But nobody's forcing you to be vegan. No one's forcing you to watch this. No one's forcing you to listen to this. No one's forcing you to go do the research. Nobody, no one can force you to do that. But what we can do and continue to do is force animals into gas chambers, force animals into transport trucks and transport them and force them into the slaughterhouse and force them out of the truck and into the slaughterhouse and force them on that manufacturing line and force them to be killed and force them to slit their throats, hang them upside down, and do what we do to animals. So, why don't you watch the videos? Why won't you watch Dominion? Here's another one you should watch is Gary Yavorsky's The Best Speech Ever. It's amazing. So, Ultra Gamer, 5:06 a.m. I love vegetables. I'm glad you love vegetables. I love vegetables too. Let me ask you a question. Do you love animals? Do you love animals? And why do you love vegetables? And why do you love animals? And you don't even have to love animals to know what we're doing to the animals is wrong. Okay? Trust me. Oh, trust you. You love vegetables. I trust you. I know you love vegetables. But tell me, is using Jesus really a good idea to force a vegan mentality on others? Again, we talked about this, and I'm going to just kind of lay it here. So, no one is forcing you to be vegan. No one's forcing you or using Jesus to force a vegan mentality onto you. Nobody. And it's like the pastor in church is not forcing you to be a Christian or Jewish or any other religion. The pastor is not forcing you. It's your choice and it's your belief. So you can choose to believe them and choose to, buy into what they're sharing you. You can choose to believe that it's the truth and it's the way and it's the light. But is what we're doing to animals, is that the way? I mean, that's your choice. You're choosing to do those things to those animals. You're choosing to contribute to what's happening to those animals. And the only thing that is being forced, or the only ones that are being forced into what's happening to them, is what we do to animals. And it was what you contribute to by buying those animal body parts. Those animals' body parts you're purchasing, so you're continuing to fund the industry so it continues to go on. So you're directly taking part in it. So I would say that you're directly forcing them to go into the gas chambers and go into the slaughterhouse. That's really the only people that are forcing others to do something. It's not me forcing my vegan mentality onto you. That's not what's happening here. That's not what's happening. But I do think it is a good idea that I'm sharing this message and you're coming across it, because you have to choose. Like, you have to choose whether you want to continue to fund it, continue to support it, or not. It's that simple. It really is that simple. Most people, again, will look away. You'll come across this, you'll swipe away, you'll look away, you'll comment, you'll laugh emoji, and then comment like this: is Jesus a really good idea to force a vegan mentality, or force a vegan belief, or force the vegan message onto others? Nobody's using Jesus or God or any other platform to force you to believe anything. That's not what's happening here. Can't force you to believe something is the right thing or wrong thing, but I am questioning you, and you should question yourself. You should do the research and question, why are you doing this? I mean, it's really that simple. And I don't blame you. It's the way you were brought up. It's what you were taught. It's the way I did it for over 30 years, but then did the research and then saw it from my own eyes and was like, how is this worth it? How is what we're doing? How is what I'm doing worth it? Is it worth it? That piece of bacon, is it worth forcing a pig into a gas chamber and having it scream and squeal and be killed, and so that they can chop up their body parts and put them into supermarkets and sell them to me and you to go purchase and to eat and consume on the weekends? Like, no, it's not worth it. I mean, why is my taste and pleasure more important than that animal's life? And again, we talk about the animals being sentient, and their lives matters to them. Just like your life matters to you, their life matters to them. They don't want to die. They were born into this industry, and we're continuing to fund it. You specifically are continuing to fund it. And you got to ask yourself why. So you are forcing the animals to be killed and slaughtered for food for your taste and pleasure. I am not forcing my vegan mentality of basically saying it is not worth it. Their lives matter to them. Why are we exploiting these animals in the first place? That's what I'm not. You could call it forcing my belief. I'm sharing that, and you can either agree or choose to agree or choose not to agree. Most people would choose not to agree and continue to do what you're doing, and laugh at people like us and laugh like, oh man, it's, they're sticking up for the animals. They're sticking up for the animals. Like, what I got a comment yesterday of like, real men don't cry or something, like they don't have empathy, don't have compassion. Like, what? That's not people I want to hang out with. Those aren't people I want to be around. People that want to just take advantage of others and do what we want to them. Like, that doesn't sound like the right thing to be doing. That doesn't sound like the good morals, in my opinion. And where do you get your morals from? Morals, some people say they get the morals from church or the Bible. Again, is the pastor forcing you to believe in the religion that he's speaking about? Is he forcing you to believe that God and Jesus is the light and the way? You know, you got to ask yourself, is that happening? A vegan mentality. A vegan mentality should be the default mentality of you shouldn't kill or harm or cause pain and suffering to others if you don't have to. Why would you? For food. You don't have to. You can eat plants. You can choose to eat plants. You are forcing others, and plants are not others. They are not beings. They are not sentient. We all have to eat. So you can choose to eat others, or you can choose to eat plants. Which would you rather? And then your choice is forcing those animals into the gas chambers, into the slaughterhouses. So that's really, again, the only people that are forcing others to do something is you onto the animals. By contributing to it, by purchasing those foods and those meats and their body parts and their products in the stores, you're forcing those animals to be killed for you for taste and pleasure. Again, I'm not forcing my mentality or belief onto you. I'm sharing my experience. I'm sharing with you. I'm encouraging you to do the research. But again, I can't force you. And if there was a way to force you, I might do that. But I still think the choice has to come from you. Because again, you could force someone to work out, like, like, but it's not sustainable. It's if it doesn't come from you, it's not going to be sustainable. So I wouldn't force you. Like it's really a choice, and that's the beauty of it. We have the choice. You can choose to eat plants instead of contribute what's happening to animals. You can choose that. And why wouldn't you? It's the default option. I think it's the bare minimum that we should be doing. It's the bare minimum. But we're not taught enough about it. We're not surrounded by enough people that can share these experiences, and we're on this false belief that you need to eat meat to be strong, fit, and healthy, yet so many people are doing it without it, including me, including my family. So sharing my experience, I'm not forcing you to be vegan, but I'm encouraging you to do so. And I'll encourage you every day out here. I'll respond to these comments. I'll talk to you, come on my channel. I'll have a discussion with you if you're interested. I'm just a regular dude, but figured out that it's not necessary to eat animals. It's not necessary. And what happens to these animals is crazy, that we allow this, that we're looking the other way, and then we're contributing and doing it. But the problem is just so many people around, it's just normal. I mean, it's really, at this point, it's considered normal. And and if you don't do it, it's like, man, like we're the abnormal ones. And it's like, how does that make any sense? But it does. But it does. So, all right, that's what I got for Ultra Gamer 4884, 5:15 now, Michigan time. So we're gonna get after the day. Hope you all have a wonderful day, and I'm gonna see you tomorrow, day 33. We'll be at almost 10,000 reps, or 10% complete after tomorrow. Almost, not there yet. One day at a time, one rep at a time, and one comment at a time. I'm just going to continue to respond to. So lastly, no, not forcing vegan mentality onto you. I would never, I'll say I would never, but I'm encouraging you to do the research. I'm encouraging you to be vegan, because I do think that that's the right thing to do. All right, guys, have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow. Peace.